Okay. Have it started? Okay. Sorry. The levels. So yesterday, I gotta close that today. I can flip back and forth. So the challenge comes with the levels. If we were swapping out the entire level every time, which might be the easier way, then Canny's suggestion of switching out the scene works, because it swaps everything out, right? It's not just this, it's the entire scene. However, I'd have to put all this stuff in every single level. Whereas adding the level in just kind of makes sense. So let's see if I can't. Hey Brooksy, how you doing? I've been good. Long time. Hopefully life is treating you well. I go around just living the grind. What are you working on here? I am learning how to do game dev a little bit in a couple of days a week. So I'm trying to build a little shoot 'em up to kind of get used to the skills and grow my understanding. So a little shoot 'em up, got some score going, and I'm working on building different levels and seeing if I can swap them out. So that's what I'm focused on today. Just doing this as a little bit of a palette refresh. A couple of days a week, I've been working on a large application on stream, and another smaller application to help with other people trying to learn, but that needs engagement. So yeah. How do you find using Godot? I actually quite like it so far. It's nice and quick. It's not too not too overwhelming. The C# stuff, because obviously I'm a developer anyway. This stuff isn't the C# stuff's all new, so I get to use all the techniques I use in my regular code. So Godot's pretty nice. So that is a node 2D. That was super handy, yeah. I mean, I've tinkered with Unity before. I've played with Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine, I've not had much success with playing with C#, C++, and with blueprints. Unity, I've had a little bit of stuff working with Unity, but it's not really not really fun. I've worked out more with Godot, and again, I've watched several of the streamers. Right, it's not just I've picked this up and followed a tutorial. I've been basically piecing this together from what I've watched other streamers do, and I've had the help of other people come in the stream and try and guide me on how to fix some of this stuff up. So I'm basically learning through failing, right? Falling from one disaster to the next one, and kind of making it up as I go along. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm gonna try and my goal is to try and get the concepts down so I can kind of move seamlessly between scenes, and I know when where I'm using inputs, and I'm moving things on screens, and the relationships that a scene has to a script, etc. Once I get those things down, I want to be a little bit more ambitious in the future. Probably not a major stream project for a long time, but I really would like to build kind of a city builder game eventually. But tempering expectations, I've got to learn a whole lot of things before I even tackle that sort of challenge. Right now, challenge number 1 is figuring out why this starts halfway up the screen. Maybe what happens if I set that there? Let's see if that changes where it starts. The city will be super cool. I've been playing those a bit more as I'm starting to get older. Yeah. My favorites are ones that involve things like moving resources and transit around stuff. So less city skylines and more. Well, that changed it for the. That did not change what I expected it to, did it? Yeah. So there's an old game that I used to play on the PlayStation. Ixion. I have not. This the one? Ooh. It's got trains. I have not seen that before. Huh. Interesting. I shall add that to the wish list, I think. Yeah, the game I was so I don't know if you ever played this one. Um, A Train is a series of games that have been around for a long time. Um, going back to the mid '80s, apparently. Um, but can't really see that. It was on the Mac and stuff, and you get resources, you move them around, and you encourage the growth of the city, so that you don't place the actual buildings other than things like hotels and sports arenas and stuff, but you place them down, and that encourages people to move into the area, and then you can use passenger trains to move people around and encourage more growth, etc. So that would be my ultimate game, because it's more about the economy and building that world. Yeah, but I love sim games in general. I'm a sucker for them. Okay, so that one starts. Yeah, A Train was because it had a full. Basically, you could put buildings down and make investments, and you had a stock market running and everything like that as well. So it was okay. So that does start there. So this does dictate the starting position. Let's see. I want to see. Let's not start the camera when we switch the level out. I do remember a theme park builder game that I played at a conservation camp that my parents forced me to go to. I hated it, but the 1 hour PC time in the morning was the best time ever. I mean, theme park, yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for all games like that. If they've got like um, progression through building or through through resources and economy, etc., I love playing them. Okay, so that starts there. And it starts my player in exactly the same place. So I want to reset the player to the bottom of the screen, and I want to reset the map or the camera to 0, 0 on the world. Well, I want to. This should be down here, and this should be here. I'm just going to leave that chat commented out right now until I get this figured out. So the challenge is, so I move the map position. Current level up map position equals excellent. let's do this. You. I mean, I can fly faster than my bullets, which is probably a problem, but we'll worry about that later. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Godot. So that's that. Godot. Position in viewport. Get viewport rect. Right, but that's not going to do. So where's position and position plus size, position beginning corner. That doesn't make sense. I don't think I want to do that. Oh, I need to make it to the end of the level to survive. So I'm not going for the most advanced game ever here. I'm not trying to build something great. I'm trying to just get the mechanics down. So I don't care if the game is an amazing shooter. Interesting. But sure, that's to do with... So world map, right, 0, 0. Let's try that now. Now, I think, yeah. Let's have a look. Let's see what difference this makes to it. Yeah. No. Okay. Let's see. Makes no difference whatsoever. Now, that is not the same as that. The defense turrets which I can shoot you are pretty cool though. Yeah, I wanted to make, if I'm going to make this, I'm going to put down, I'm going to definitely make it more bullet hell. So it just, all it does is it tracks where the player is and aims towards them as it shoots. So what I did is I actually created a radar class, and the radar knows where the player is. So it gets the player and it gets the position. So when the turret goes to fire, it says, "Can you get me a target, please?" And it calls radar.fetch target, and it just points in the direction and shoots. So it's not really tracking the player; it's more being told, "Hey, the player's here, fire in that direction," and then it just shoots. And then I didn't want the projectiles aren't going to track, right? So they just go up, they go in the direction they were fired at. So yeah, so each enemy gets a radar attached to it, a copy of the radar attached to it. So it just asks for its target. We went through a lot of different versions of this where the projectile knew where the player was, which I didn't like, and yeah, it took some getting used to, and then again when the enemy projectile fires, it just it sets a firing vector and then looks at that target, and then yeah, that's where it shoots, and then it just keeps adding that firing vector. So, but it seemed like a good way to model it so that there's a disconnect between the actual projectile and the player. So the projectile doesn't need to know about the player. The enemy doesn't need to know about the player. If there's two players on the screen, that radar could now decide which which player it was going to shoot at. So yeah. So I just wanted to make it kind of a dumb, like bullet hell style, shoot 'em up. If I was going to do it, I was going to make it difficult, where you're constantly chasing around after things. Okay, so that's the main viewport. That radar doesn't matter. Zero. So what I'm trying to do is, so what I've got to learn rather here is I've got to learn hold on. Okay. That's a bit different, isn't it? So I'm not only learning about coordinate systems, but I'm also learning about where the camera, etc. So the way this plays is actually the camera doesn't move. The camera stays where it is, and the game manager moves the map, and it moves the map down. Let's put a breakpoint there and see what this loads as. Okay, so let's go debug. Let's do get viewport. No? Oh, I did do it. It's a big class, I assume. Get viewport. Get visible rect. And then size 600 by 600, position 00, end 600 600, area. Okay. So position is 00. We set it at 00. But it doesn't. So interesting. So that started. What is this blue rect here? I think that's the camera. Hey, daughter, how you doing? Good morning. So if that's, I think that's the camera view, the one I can't move. So rather the like the screen space, because that would make sense. Because then the map. Where's the map start? You know what? I can make this simpler. I don't need to. I need to disable the camera. Is camera start? Do I have that? That track says camera stopped. Oh, it said it's true by default. So what I want to see is where is the screen? Where is the actual? Okay. I got a new coffee maker, some sort of smart Keurig thing. It's legit so far. Nice. Nice. Haha. Okay, so it's that river thing. That's in the viewport. So go to level 1. That's where it's starting. Now let's see where it is. Still there. So that makes not a jot of a difference. But that doesn't make a difference whatsoever to where it is. So I guess this is me understanding, trying to get into understand the tiling. Like, what does a tile map really represent? And where does it have position? It seems to have position, because if I do that, hello, Mr. Sir. How's life doing? Hi, Dan. How you doing? I'm doing good today. I'm struggling with my comprehension of coordinates, but yeah. If you want to, see someone who knows what they're doing with Godot, Dan streams are a great place to hang out. Highly recommend. Not many people to shout that out to right this second, but yeah, that's the only way to learn. Yeah, I'm happy to do the struggle. Struggling on stream as well is particularly nerve-wracking. But oh well. So what I'm trying to figure out is, yeah, you're in public a bit more. Yeah. Those moments of I'm just gonna make it up are a little harder to hide. Um, um, so local grocery store had a sale sign above an item that wasn't on sale, wasn't the item. The answer I got was, oh crap, really? Wasn't, oh crap, really, either. So you didn't get something for sale. I give up. I learned streaming is what keeps me motivated, even when streaming for a bot. No, I think they knew from the response. Okay. Oh no. Uh, so I'm gonna wait for the ads to get back before I continue any more of that conversation. On streaming, technically the bot doubles your viewership. Streaming is hard. I think I'm gonna wait. The ad break ends in about 10 seconds, so I'm just gonna give that a second before I pass that opinion. So the viewport wrecked. Nice. I mean, streaming is extremely hard, and it can be very motivational when you have activity. It can also be very tiring when you don't have any, when you feel you don't have anybody watching. You know, sometimes you have people coming in and hopping through, and you don't see the numbers change too quickly, so you don't know who's there at any one given time and who's watching. I tend to just treat it like someone's watching all the time and talk. It's actually created a bad habit in that I now talk to myself when I'm writing regular code. If I'm on my own, I'm actually talking as if I'm streaming as well. So I don't know what that would do for my work environment if I didn't work from home. And it's a grind. And I think a lot of people pick up streaming because they see other people doing it and think, oh, I could do that. And they struggle to find, some try and recreate what the other streamers are doing, the ones that they want to mimic. And some, give up because it's hard. And then you just got to find your own path. And I think the problem is if you're trying to stream something that you're not comfortable with, or you're not comfortable with showing that either, it can be even harder. And people turn off if things are too difficult. I think yesterday, yeah, you can use it as a rubber duck, right? Sometimes you talk yourself through the through the through the problem. Game dev is less my interest. I will say that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing this to keep something, totally different. I can throw away, I can discard, I can put to one side easily, and I don't have a great deal of involvement with. You know me well enough to know my love of games. So it is something that I'm passionate about. I don't think I'll ever make a full game, but it would be nice to try. I'm doing it because I want to change my career. Yeah, nice. Yeah, for me, this is just a kind of palate cleanser, right? Because I'm spending so much time on the heavy stuff. The funny thing is, this is kind of both good and bad. It's allowing me to step away and keep my energy up for doing the stuff, but I'm also getting more productive on that stuff off stream. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do game dev. I'm going to stay on that schedule. Um, but I've got other stuff now. I've done a lot of stuff on the last couple of days on the Liquid Sky project. Hello, Fashionable. How you doing? Good day. There's a lot of career restarts in my company. Surprising number. Yeah, I think considering how long we spend of our lives working, I think finding something that makes you happy is definitely is definitely important. I feel that seems like a phrase, new farmers. You say career restarts. I assume coming from rather than going to. Like give it all up and go away and do something different. So if I move this, right, to let's say here, right, and run that. Okay. That's up there now. Now I move that down there. That kind of worked, but kind of didn't. Because that... level 1. That did put the bottom down there. Farming that... I'm surprised the industry sucks, and I want to have a plantation. Wow. But if you're a wealthy software dev and you do farming as a hobby, it's okay, I guess. Gotcha. Which is one of the reasons I think TBD is into the Agile project so much. Another friend of mine thinks truck driving seems like a good career switch. I'm not sure, kind of stressful. I wouldn't want to drive for a living. He has a farm as well. Ah, that's okay. So Primogen has a farm as well, and it's a side thing. And okay, he's shader coding instead. I mean, I think the important thing is to stay happy, and not reduce your stress, especially the later in life you get. I would definitely focus on reducing stress. So that doesn't do anything, right? This doesn't change anything about it, right? Oh, that does. Well, that changed things drastically. So that changed the transform of this map drastically. Let's see what that looks like now. 0, 0. Okay, so that's the true width of the viewport now. I also have friends whose parents are milk cow farmers. It's hard stuff. Never a single day of vacation or days off. Cows need milking every day. When I visited Australia 20 years ago, my cousin and her husband have a dairy farm there. and he basically gave her the days off so she could hang out with us, even though we were on the farm with them. He gave her the days off so she could hang out and chill out with us and have a drink if she wanted to, because it changed. They worked really hard. Other miners for now a piece of land, almost an acre. We plant strawberry, blackberry, banana, passion fruit, and many other types of fruit. Strawberry is the primary source of income. All organic, which drastically increases the work. Nice. Now I want a fruit. I want a fruit cup. So that, setting that to 0, 0 does mean that the map starts in the right place. Yeah, everything's right about it with that set to 0, 0. That's weird. So it doesn't matter where world map is, relatively. I don't get this. Cows just eat grass. Yeah, I remember watching the milking, and that was quite the adventure. So the way it is now, my plane starts in the wrong position because now so the viewport, if that's off to the side, yeah, that's half the screen width. So 300 is perfect. Good morning, Apex. Sorry. Do you have any speedrun stats for level 1? If we can get the game to actually play, that would be a good thing, right? No, I want that. Sorry. Oh, dogs. They apparently chewed a shoe. So that should now be the width of the screen again. Almost. But now that's not at the beginning, is it? Let that change again. And now we're back up there. Now we're back up here. So what I'm trying to get my head around is what coordinates. So I can see here the blue box, right? So that's the viewport, right? Hello, Ironic Moronic. How are you doing? So I'm trying to get my head around all the different pieces of the screen that affect where this camera's starting. So the camera is set here at 0, 0, well, 300, 300 there. Because 0, 0 for the camera is right in the center there. So when I go in here, should this be... No, it doesn't seem to make sense to make that way. This feels like the sort of stuff that one day I'll look back on and think, oh, that's so easy. I understand that. But right now I want to... How do you add the levels to the main scene? When I start the game, I load in the... I have the levels as an array. Right or wrong, I am learning my way through this. I have never done any significant game dev before, so I've been an app dev for quite a while. What issues are you facing? What issue are you facing? Okay, so I am loading in the level, right? But you see where see where things are. That is basically where this viewport rect is. This blue line here is that I'm seeing right this second, right? My player is spawning, but I'm not seeing this bottom half of this map. Oh, main. My viewport is 300, 300. But if I change that to 0, 0, right, I'm going to see the top corner. Or not. I'm going to see half. Yeah, so the way the game's actually working, and again, I've taken on... So this could be a different... do I need it? I need the camera so I can... Yeah, so initially I move the camera. Now the game manager moves the level, right? So I set the position. Actually, I should remove that. That's actually messing with that. Okay, so that's there. That's still wrong. Viewport. Start your player at 0, 0. So move everything there. So why does this blue rect live here? Because that's how everything else is relative to, right? Right. So that would be there. But now... So the level is loaded... Yeah, the level's loaded relative to that. Right. But that Oh no, I'm a bit audio off syllabus decable. No worries. I mean, the time out drawing of them. Oh, got you. So make everything relative to here. So, okay. How do I do that? Again, still learning my way around. Oh, so that does that. Okay. So make that all relative to that. I was sitting here thinking you're just in the zone thinking and not talking. No worries. But now that goes negative. Interesting. Oh, hold on. That's because I'm setting that to 0, 0. Oh, no. So if my player starts at 0, 0. Okay. It's starting to sell then. But then that would have to be 300. No. That would have to be 300. And then player would be at 0, 0. No, 300. Okay, so that's the right positioning. So let's do. I appreciate the help, Ironic. I'm not completely closed off to the assistance. It's the coding I'm good with. Why is that now? That's interesting. Was this correct position? I'm not sure. If everything's consistent, then I'm happy with that, and I can understand everything relative to a good point, right? So if I get everything into a place where I understand, yep, it looks correct, now I can learn all the other pieces. So the camera is here, right? So if everything's indexed off of this bottom left-hand corner, I know the position of everything else, right? So that's the principles I'm working on right now. Let's move that camera again. And then I can at least look at all the numbers and see, oh, well, that's wrong. I already saw one there. So at least if everything's wrong in the same way, I can understand what right looks like. that's my reasoning right now. So what Ironic suggested was it made sense. Okay, so what I should see is a bunch of trees here. And I do. So that is working as intended. Yeah, if your game has a moving camera, you want to think about stuff in relation to global coordinates. This entire process has been quite the adventure so far. And actually, being that I have that working right this second, I'm going to commit that. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you go. So all the code for this game is available. Switching levels. Moved. So I'm not looking for anyone to tell me here's the way I would do it, or here's the best way of doing this. I'm just looking to learn and grow. That's what this project's about. It's a throwaway project that I'm not stressed about. But you're more than welcome to go get the code if you want to, as it stands right now. Now I think I MVP'd that cow application. Nice. So, it's that time again. The sun's in my face. 8 o'clock. Someone pointed out with the event storming, tie data to each event. If you're doing the technical piece, right? I assume, not the general. E.g., when someone calls in for a cab ride, what data do I need? Yeah. So I assume that's more on the technical side. Yeah. Hey, wonderful people, how are you today? Captain Fuba, not bad. How are you doing? Start, location, destination, number of people. That's it, I think. Name. That's a common thing asked for. Okay, so I mean, even on Uber, you go up to Uber and say, "Hey, I'm so and so," right? Yeah. Okay, so let's add some enemies in here and see if this works, because this is going to be the next phase. Still doing it this way. Let's add that. Let's add that. They go into world map because they need to move. Yeah. Well, a name at least, I would imagine. Okay, so when the problem that's going to occur now is when I switch level, attach enemy manager. We do not rescan, so the enemy manager there. I can do it that way. Not talking to you, but just general old school cab. I mean, in the UK, if I call a cab or a taxi, I'm always going to be asked my name. And potentially what time for, because I might not be scheduling it for now. I might not be asking for it immediately. Yeah. I apologize if you're in ads. Or if you get struck with the ads. Okay, so the game manager needs to enemy manager dot load level. No. Did I not put that on there? I made it private. I gotta go to work, I think. Good luck all. No worries, Dota. Have a great day. And I'm glad the event stalling thing's working out. That's really cool. I really do hope to give that a look over soon. I'm gonna make that public temporarily, he says. So the idea being that when I set the enemy manager on the current level, I need to go and figure out all the new enemies and stuff to track. Because the enemy manager has the radar attached, right? So, oh no. Reference not since enemy manager line 25. Object reference. Why would that break there? Trap, good morning. How you doing? Mojo, hello. How's it going? Give me an all. So when I change levels, so I have the level complete screen, hit fire to continue, and then I switch the level out. I need to reset the game manager and tell it there's new enemies available, right? The current level is not null. Remove the current level, set it to null, and then add the new, and then set the new level, right? And we add it as a sibling of the viewport, right? So again, good or bad, right or wrong, the purpose of this project is to try and get my head around some of these concepts and understand through failure, understand through success. And again, the coordinate system is going to trip me up. See, that says negative 1,000 pixels. Why is that negative 1,000 pixels? But on here, that's negative 590, but it's the same position. Unless I've got some sort of zoom or something set differently. But it looks right, so we're going to leave it alone for right now. Also, I created a tile set and used it in this one, whereas in the other one I didn't do. That's kind of just painted on there. And I'm procrastinating because I'm trying to think about how to get around this problem. So what I'm trying to think about right this second is okay, so load next level. I don't want to do that there. That should be there, I think. And then enemy manager. What do I want to set? I want to do. I want to tell this. I'll subscribe to the loaded level. No. Doesn't really matter there. I think that was an ordering problem. I think the state of it wasn't in the right place. So I'll make that public again. Game manager. So after I've done the current level, enemy manager. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that works. Okay. So we go through, shoot. Oh, Mr. Jones. Good afternoon. How you doing? Okay, so we get to the end of the level. We hit fire to continue. Yay! Oh, the score doesn't count. Why does the score not count? No. I probably should put some boundaries in there as well, right? Why did the score not happen? How's that broken? 1 second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had a coffee delivery. Okay, so the level loads, the enemies start shooting. So what that told me was by the load level, it got the new list of enemies and they were able to target me. So the enemy manager was doing the right job. It was binding the set their radar and their collisions, etc. Because yeah, but the problem was notify collision. The scorekeeper yeah, I probably need to know when the level changed, don't I? So if we do public void on level changed, we move all this code in there. And in here, this is on level changed. We remove that one because that would have been called twice anyway, so there was no really good way to do that. And then in here, on ready, we need to do enemy manager. So how do I want to do this? Which direction do I want to do this in? I'm just debating. Really, I want to tell them, hey, the level changed. So I just want them all to subscribe, and then in here, notify level changed, right? So I just want to do level changed. Don't invoke here, right? And then they should subscribe to that. So yeah. So private event action level changed. Not sure why that's not. And then that needs to be that. Then enemy manager. Plus equals goalkeeper dot on level changed. Their subscribers have level changed. Yes. So they'll go and refresh their enemy list. So they can be told when the enemies collided. Game manager. Although worryingly, I'm pretty sure I shot the bad guys in the first map, the first level. You think I know what the words are for this right now? So score, yeah, 500,000. $2,000. 3,000. There you go. Okay. 500. There you go. 4,000. Okay. Cool. So we have the score tracking. Now I need to learn more about dispose because I'm just leaving things lying around. Lots of these events lying around, and that's not healthy. Okay. So let's do this. Let's commit that. Score tracking. Again, commit to change. Push that. So again, the code's there if you want it. So if you're new to the stream, this is something I'm doing a couple of days a week, Mondays and Tuesdays, just to kind of freshen the palate. I'm normally doing app development, and this is just something I really want to get into. I really want to learn more about. So tomorrow and through Friday, I'll be resuming application development on other stuff. But the rule of the stream is that, it's always okay to talk. It's always okay to ask questions, to interact. I do not need to get stuff done. If the conversation goes in a different direction as far as coding goes, I'm happy to do that. So yeah, it's a good place to chat. Okay. So I have enemies. I have the map changing. And ironic. Thank you very much for the assist there. As far as the coordinates go, I'm not going to panic about those right this second. I'll have to come back around and understand more. That seems like something that I'm going to learn over time. But next step. When I get to the end of the second screen, right, is this going to collide again? Is I suppose the first question. Or am I going to continue running forever? So let's shoot there. We also have some balancing to do because those bullets are moving way too. Well, the enemy bullets are moving too slowly, but my bullets are a little bit. So we get to the end of the first level, hit fire, continue on. This is going to be interesting. So if this hits the end and it triggers fine, it'll say hit fire to continue. But now, interesting. Okay. But I do know, which is good. Because we have so on camera stopped, we have on continue to next level, so we go and get the level complete. So we when we stop and we hit a final, we instantiate a level complete screen, we overlay it, and we can subscribe to when the fire buttons hit. In there, we go and get that node that was added here and remove it, and then load the next level, right? What I need to do is private pool, good, load next level. It's that. Yes, because this will increment, so it will increment to the count. And then we do Oof. My wife got a bagel from Dunkin', and she had asked for a little butter, and I think the thing's actually swimming in the butter. It's horrible. So if should load next level, right? Then we load the next level. Else show. I also want to show the final screen, which is the game over screen. Wow. That's impressive. How do you shut down the game in Godot? So I'm going to worry about quitting out and also restarting the game. So in the game over scene, what about that afterwards? You have to pay attention. Yeah. So eventually I want to put like a wave of enemies aircraft in, and I want to put, smaller projectiles on those enemies. My pixel art skills are not where they need to be, right? So now we can go to the second level, right? We also need to reset the player position. There we go. And then we wait for the long level. So this should show the game over screen, not the hit fire to continue screen. Oh. Hello, first time here. It's in regards from Egypt. You great Af. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you are well. So that then shows the game over screen. Oh, of course, yes, because my logic's wrong there. I don't need that there. I need I only need this here, don't I? Yes. So what this does is the enemy game over here is going to clear the enemy list and when it invokes on game over, any enemies there are going to be unsubscribed from the events. So the idea is that they, they'll remove all their events, etc. That's the idea, anyway. But I don't think it actually does that. But we'll worry about that later. So if I should load the next level, show the level complete screen. Otherwise, show the game over scene. So I know that works. So now in the game over scene, what I need to do is let's put another label in here. Text label. This is going to be called escape to exit. Center. Exit label. For some reason, I keep thinking that that's going to be the words. Escape to hit. Let's see, to exit. Hold on. Is that a thing? No, it's not a thing. There is a flash though, isn't there? Let's go look up BB code. Centered link quote code image table. Godot. Indent. Color outline. Thought it was something. No, maybe I'm wrong. Text effects. There we go, that's what I'm after. Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's what I wanted. And now I need a script, don't I? Because oh look, I happen to have a script. Okay, so we go to project settings and input map, add new action, quit, add keyboard keys escape. Right, so we're gonna put that in there. If input dot is action pressed, quit. That's not a thing. We gotta learn how to shut down the game. Get tree quit. Is it really? One says get root, get tree. Quits the application at the end of the current iteration. Argument exit code can actually be given. Nice. So we go through the level. So making this up as I go along is probably not the best way of doing it, but it does give me kind of the ability to just kind of bumble from challenge to challenge without panicking about doing the right thing, because that's often stopped me in the past, is worrying about, oh, is this the right way to do this? Is this because as I've learned just through the few weeks of people trying to help with this, there's a lot of different ways people have tackled some of these problems, and generally the more assertive wins. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Now, things like keeping track of the memory, keeping track of resources, etc., those are going to be things that there's a right way to do them. Okay. And there we go. Will lead to exit, will lead to exit, will lead to exit. So I did create some problems there for certain. So, but those things, this is the right way of doing those things, right? I don't need those comments. I understand what they do well enough. Provide quit action. Game over. Now, if I'm right, if we have public event action, it knows where I'm going. Kind of scary, but it knows where I'm going. Actually, on restart game. It's an event I want to subscribe to. If input dot is action pressed, fire. Did I call it fire, or did I call it something else? Shoot. I call it shoot. Of course, I call it shoot. So we're going to go back into here. Add another label, add child node. Put it in the VBox mat as well. Retry again. Label. Do you have any recommendations on not getting stuck in the planning of a personal project? Set your sights on something closer. Don't try and, because again, my long-term goal here for a game would be to create a simulation game, right? It'd be to create something that has trains and buses and transportation and resources and economy, etc. That would be my ultimate game, but I can't get there. I would try, and I would fall, I would fail. So build what you know you need, bit by bit, and kind of plan the next part, kind of grow on top of it, rather than worrying too much about what it should be. It's a little bit more ad hoc, and that's, waterfall is kind of the way that you kind of develop a personal project rather than agile, because you're not trying to plan too much. Yeah, Trap said it as well. Just start working it, break the problem down. So, yeah, like make little milestones. I'd say, like, progress to something. That's what you want. Now, what comes next? How do you build from there? Yeah, personal projects often fail because you either get bored of them because they don't have enough content, or you just lose motivation. I work on a lot of CLI tools, break down work by sub command and option, gives you very discrete chunks of work. Yeah, I can imagine that does. Another thing is if you have a problem, like if you have a piece of thing, let's say a particular technology or something that is challenging, break it out into a separate project, work on that. You guys are amazing. Unfortunately, I'm being called into the office today, so I must go. Oh, no, no worries, Mojo. The intern decided to come in today rather than Wednesday. Ugh. Yeah, I like side projects, like little prototyping tools. That was fun. But have fun with the intern. Center space to try again. Fit content. BB code on. Theme. Yeah, there we go. Let's have some fun. Don't mind me. I'm just a child. It just looks like an Amiga demo. Cause you gotta have the wavy text, right? Okay, so it helps if I wire the code up. So the game manager, we do have the game over scene, and game over scene as game over dot on restart game. Plus equals if game over scene is game over. Let's do it the right way. Current level equals 0. Load next level. Face lift you letting down. His face obviously lower than before. What? Hello, Kenny. How you doing? Okay, so we go in here, we go and shoot some bad guys. Maybe this was the wrong chat. Like, I don't remember talking about facelifts. How's it going? Okay, so we hit fire to continue, we go to the next level. We need to reset that player. I can see how a notepad beside me would be a useful thing while doing this sort of stuff. We go on and shoot the bad guys. And I'm back. Cool. Agile meetings. Welcome back then. Hey, nice. I can continually reset. Found a bug. I can get infinite score. I probably should remove the game over screen, right? Um, when you have Pip and another streamer's in front of the chat, but hope you're doing fine. I've done that as well. I've gone and typed the wrong thing in the wrong stream. It's easy to do. We need to get node game over dot q3. I think. And so we can test this quicker because we can. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. There's a few conditions. The game over scene will load here as well. So we need this event. We need this to be standard. This code is getting messy and it's bugging me. So we need to do add game over scene there. And add game over scene there. There's privates before publics and they're all mixed in, and this class is doing so many different things, it's irritating me. But it's called the game manager, so it manages the game. So Dan, not a fan of agile meetings? Or is that the air quotes because they pretend to be but they're not? So do that. Actually, we need. Oh, interesting. I have a. Agile is not agile. That's the problem I have with it. Yeah. Yep. I don't know why I managed with a what is that even doing there? That shouldn't be there. I enemy. I scoreable. Oh, that's score value, not score. I never saw a company that does it right either. I think I mean this is more on topic for tomorrow, but it's partially why I'm developing what I'm developing, right? I want to build something that is out of the way of developers because, again, a lot of the tooling, a lot of the processes added purely to support management requirements, not to support the development of software. But Scrum and other agile things are getting in the way, is creating confusion and problems. Yeah. I think you need a couple of neurospicy peoples in a team that could work, but the social norms of talking about God and the world almost always stretches short means. So you want people that don't want to talk. So kind of your experience is more people go off on tangents and talk about things that aren't related to the topic. I'm in between, so I'm just as guilty at times of doing the divert talk. So the problem there was the staying on this topic of this for a second. I need to get the game over screen up. Okay. Yeah, the wrong things dispose when that happens. That's the only way I can imagine daily could be done in 15 minutes every day. So that's, again, so ceremonially the Scrum Master is intended to to keep things on track. Sorry, I was just trying to think about what that problem was there. So that's why you need a Scrum Master that's willing to do it. And the problem is that the Scrum Master is not a position of authority. So it's more the respect to the process by the team that's necessary. I think it should be a balance. The problem I see with it is the number of processes and meetings pretend to be good, helpful, or productive. But that's a per company thing, how they interpret the need. Now, planning is necessary, right? The tool that I'm building is focused on trying to get that planning to be more streamlined in as so much as it's guiding the PM or whoever's building the requirements to put in information, as much information as possible ahead of time, without creating stories from them. It's meant to be assistive and kind of move that process along, because again, a lot of the tooling we have is management focused. It is not focused on the actual development of the software. So we end up chasing, oh, how fast can I go, or what's our numbers look like, etc. And they're not really concerned with the developer. The developer should be, hey, I want to develop software. So you need people who can follow the process. So you need a Scrum Master that is capable of saying, okay, no, let's get on with this. Let's get on with the Scrum. Let's do the thing. What did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? Do you have any issues? Anything to block you? If anything is blocking you, do you need to talk to anyone in this group? Yes. Okay. We'll meet at the end. Dota has a term for that. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I want to say garage, but it's not. They don't need, but the thing is, the Scrum Master shouldn't be a leader. The Scrum Master doesn't, parking lot, there you go, thank you, Wallman. The Scrum Master doesn't need to be a position of authority. The Scrum Master, I've actually experimented with rotating the Scrum Master just so everyone appreciates the role, and it scares people. So I basically said, okay, for this month, you're the Scrum Master, right? And you're the Master of the Ceremony, or leader of the ceremony, or whatever term is the right term there. But they are the ones responsible for keeping the meetings on track. They are the ones responsible for making sure we don't drift off and divert from conversations about one story into another story, right? If we're pointing, it's on them to make sure that the pointing's fair and balanced, and do it that way. So I've experimented with that just to make sure the team appreciates what it's like to be in that role. But they shouldn't, the Scrum leader, Scrum Master, shouldn't be a position of authority. It shouldn't be product. It should be a team member that's focused on moving things along. And the reason it shouldn't be the product manager is because the product manager is not incentivized to focus the conversation. The product manager benefits from random conversations about the software. And they are most likely the guilty ones for diverting a lot of software talk. Developers sometimes, but PMs, especially if they're getting what they need from it. Oh, product owners, depending on which phrase is correct. So, that's what the player, in this instance, the player is gone. So, on player death occurred, but I don't release the player. Oh, I do. On unit hit, death occurred. That's why, because I'd freed the player. I don't want to do that until final game over. So I kind of want to do I'll restart game, load next level, otherwise, and add the child scene. Game over dot on end of game. I'm just using these inline expressions because it's I'm gonna do it that way. Again, right or wrong, I'm not really worried too much about that right now. I'll learn. But public event action on on end of game. On end of yeah. Okay, so that should at least free them up. I don't know whether that'll work or not, but that means that I at least know when the game's actually ended, and now this game over shouldn't fail. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of long meetings, but in the same, I'm a fan of getting the right thing, getting the right information. So asking the right questions is a talent that developers need to learn. So assumptions are the biggest challenge we face when it comes to software development, right? Because, oh yeah, we need to clear all those bullets up as well. It's easy to make assumptions. It's not easy to it's not easy to see them once they're made. So software often contains them without us knowing, and that's a challenge. And the scorekeeper's not keeping score. I'm like pushing and pulling here. Okay. Space to try again. There we go. Okay. Now scorekeeper gonna work? No, you're not gonna work. Oh no. Cannot. Okay. Enemy unnotified game over. That's an enemy. It's that time again. I must have fun. I must go to work. Enjoy your day. Apex, thank you very much for hanging out. I'm about to finish up as well. Yeah, take care. My favorite phrase on making assumptions in general, but also applied to software dev, is grant me the miracle that. Why am I doing that? I haven't checked out Apex, by the way. It's a very chill stream to go and sit in when he streams. Doesn't stream too often lately, but it's trying to get back into it. It's well worth hanging out. Just go with it as if it's true and just happens. I heard that before. True and just happens. Yeah. It's also a challenge because when you're talking about planning, um, you know, you've got to avoid getting too technical, but too technical can lead to some of those assumptions. So there's a fine balance to be had. I cannot win with this, can I? Cannot access a disposed object. On enemy. So I must be finishing enemy manager. There's enemy that's doing it, right? I did not just remove the code that throws the error. I promise I did not just remove it because it causes a problem. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. So there's two things there, right? First, the player state does not reset, so the player does not know that the player hasn't got the energy back, so the first hit of it pushes it. Then this happened, so yeah. Notify on game over. On level changed. So on level changed, we subscribe in the enemy manager to on game over, and then on the enemy, we listen for the collision occur. What? So we notify on game over. Yeah, I've got some ordering to sort out there. But yeah, that's for next time. So tomorrow will be a slightly longer stream. I don't know how much more. Maybe an hour. But I have been making progress off stream on the Agile platform stuff to the point where I've now got GraphQL using views. So I built a bunch of views out for GraphQL, and I kind of like the way this is actually playing out so far. It's working pretty nicely. So the GraphQL piece, and I'm able to. This all started from I needed to control the date times. So now in my queries, in my view, I actually can say, okay, these are UTC, and that's how I set them as UTC, and all the dates look like they're coming back correctly with the time zone down to .NET. Having them as views means I can still store the core data. None of that changes. Everything's fine. These are all nice and fast, and all the right indexes are in place, so I've got all the right joins still. But these condense some of these normalizations, etc. So it does work pretty well. So tomorrow on regular project stuff, I'll be working on getting that up and running, getting the date time comparison stuff working in the client finally, and moving past requirements, hopefully. So the requirements will be added, not moving past, but moving past this phase of requirements, because there's way more to requirements than what I've got so far. But figuring out what that detail screen looks like. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, well, with that said, I'm going to raid over to Fullbots again, because Fullbots is streaming, and he gets started. He gets started at this time of day, and being that I'm doing game dev, it makes sense to raid another game developer. Mimago and Beegs are just two. They've got a lot of people in there, so yeah. I like giving the love to Fullbots. So let's go over there. YouTube Online, have a great. What day is it? It's Tuesday. Yeah, have a great day. I don't often see you around after the stream on Tuesday, but yeah, take care, and thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for hanging out while I did some game development in air quotes. I will be back again tomorrow, and I'll see you later. Take care all. Bye.